What is up, everybody? We are back with episode number 292.
92 already. Wow.
Yep. So, yeah, I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. I
It
did.
was awesome.
You guys have
We had a great
Yep.
one.
Played a lot
me
of
too.
music. Lots of music played.
Yeah,
And
see,
our
I didn't get to do that because I'm usually by myself, but we were out up in a nice little house on a lake and uh, up in Colorado, and I had my 6 grandkids and my 2 kids and their spouses all there. So we didn't get to really play any music. So, but
You
it was
didn't
still
introduce them to
really
Thin
enjoyable.
Lizzy?
What's that?
You didn't introduce them to Thin Lizzy or Cheap Trick?
Oh, my family well knows my music. I just didn't. We were watching movies and fishing, and they were
Doing
out there
family
boating on the
things.
lake. And what's that?
Doing family things.
Yeah, they caught enough trout that we ended up one night having just trout for dinner, and we had 10 people there, and we had enough trout for everybody and a lot left over. So,
Well, the weather here's been kind of weird too. It's been rainy, snowy, cold. I mean, it was 34 when I got up and scraped Steph's windows, and so it's actually starting to feel like the holidays should.
Well, I'll tell you, winter has definitely set in up here. It's been below zero. I mean, we gotten a lot of snow already, and it is icy as hell.
I watched the University of Minnesota and somebody, and they have an outdoor stadium. I don't know why the Vikings can't. Huh? What's that?
They played Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right. And man, it was a major. In fact, if the Gophers hadn't been wearing their dark maroon, you couldn't see them. I mean, all you could see was the red helmet logo for Wisconsin running around. But anyway, it was old time, good old football. Except the field wasn't grass, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers. But it was fun to see that. And then the Ohio State Michigan game, I guess, was the same. Lots of snow, but we're supposed to get rain and some freezing stuff more again here on Thursday, I believe. So I don't know. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, I guess.
Yep. We got Kevin Smith checking in and Fraser Dawson checking in. HBT fan, Peter Steele fan. That's interesting because we were just right before we hit go live. We basically started the Metal Roundtable early, and we were just talking music. And who were we talking about? Peter Steele.
Yeah, Typo Negative. Yeah, that's TJ Lewis. Thanks for chiming in. He's got a new death metal project that's pretty brutal, and I'm gonna try and. It's called Hammer Throne, by the way, and I'm gonna try and come up and dress up a logo for him. But yeah, that's good news.
Well, does anybody got any shout outs, anything they want to say before we get into the meat of the program?
I mean, a shout out to I think they had a record store day on Black Friday. I don't know if we went to that. We can probably just grab a few minutes to discuss that. But man, shout out to these mom and pop stores that just keep the doors open with events like that. And it's getting less and less financially sound to do that. And I was talking to our local guys over here, and he's like, when you can only mark up a record like $3 or $4 to be competitive, it just doesn't seem like it's worth it. But anyway, it was still a fun event, and people lined up at midnight and all that stuff. I mean, it's kind of like the old days, but like everything, the event has become a little too corporate for my blood. But who knows? Maybe
it's hard because I see some of the stuff that's offered to Record Store Day that's turned down, and it kind of bums me out because there's been some great stuff that they just like, nope. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll take that one and release it again that we just released 5 years ago. It's kind of a bummer, but I also know that a lot of record stores count on the 2 Record Store Days to keep them in business. I mean, I was talking to one in California, and he basically said, he goes, I make enough on Record Store Day to keep the store and pay my employees for 6 months.
Yeah,
just that one event.
And that's why they continue to do it. Once again, but it's becoming cost prohibitive for some of these folks. I mean, I know our local guy here. Henry over at Born Late doesn't even do it. He just has a massive sale, 25% off on Black Friday or whatever. And so it's a good value to go in there still, but not if you're looking for Tangerine Dream live in Rome.
Right.
I haven't done a record store day in probably 5 years, but Friday, I've been watching this album on Discogs. And it was actually this album. I did buy it though. It was actually released on Record Store Day. Scott knows the one I'm talking about. It was. I'll tell everybody. I finally found a copy of the Blue Oyster Cult Volume 1. That was the first Record Store Day they had there.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, of course, number 2. Well, I found a copy for under $100. So normally that thing goes for well up into 150, $200. So even though it wasn't a new Record Store Day album, it was from a previous. But
I gotcha. Well, once again, there's some mystique to it, but we don't need any more Bob Dylan, Tom Petty releases. I mean,
Yep.
no more unreleased Billie Eilish stuff. As much as I like those artists, give me something that we don't like. The one in April, that Yes show from '71.
That was fantastic.
Man, I'm all over that. And then the Fragile outtakes.
Yeah,
and
that was great too.
And so give us something that we don't have or that we haven't been able to see on vinyl. That to me is more interesting, and there just wasn't that much stuff. But there was success.
3 that I was interested in. I ended up getting
there was
one.
a few.
I really wanted the Alice.
Just
I wanted the Alice Cooper
slowed
Welcome to My
way
Never
down
Alive,
on stuff.
but I didn't get it.
Did you find the Motorhead?
The Motorhead I got. That was the only one I got, and then. I actually got 2, but I didn't have to buy the other one. The Voivod was the other one I was interested in, and I got that one, but I didn't have to buy it because I worked on that one. So
right, yeah, they didn't. Right. I talked to 2 people, and they said they ordered them and didn't get them. And that's the other thing. Once you're in the click, the Record Store Day click, you order from a central location, and you may order 1 and they'll send you 5. You may order 5 and they'll send you nothing. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like
it depends
it. I just don't like it. I mean, because if you're at a record store, you know what your customers are asking for and what they like. So why wouldn't they make it more available? I don't get how random it is.
It's the problem is I mean, because I do Record Store Day stuff, they make the decision on how many they want based on how many they think will sell. By the time the record stores start asking and buying it up, it's too late. So we've done several releases where they came back and they're like, "Hey, I know we pressed up 2,000 copies, but is there any way we can get 3,000 copies or whatever?" And we're like, "It's already in production. It's too late. We can't get any more." So at that point, because I mean, by the time they make the decision, everything is in production and it has to be delivered in a few weeks. So yeah, it's just. Right. It's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is, and I'm glad it's around. I mean, there's been some great releases like the Blue Oyster Cult Volume 1 and 2. Cheap Trick has the same thing with Volume 1, 2, and 3. I have all those. Those are also expensive.
I saw that Van Halen released a live one, and that's the one with Sammy. But I know 2 shops that got 1 copy, and they were poof gone. Yeah.
Oh well, it's there's more coming, so we'll see. We submitted 3 titles to Record Store Day. We'll see if they take any of them or not.
Well, the event's not gonna stop. People make too much money.
Well, of course, and I'm glad they do because, like I said, it's keeping some of these stores open.
Yeah.
In Fargo, we used to have 3 stores that did Record Store Day, so they kind of competed against one another. Now there's only 1 up there. Because the other 2 shops are closed.
Well, Fraser has an interesting concept. Why don't they do a CD Record Store Day? Or I know that one year Metallica put out tapes that
they did a cassette store day like a couple years in a row, and it just didn't
fly, huh?
Didn't fly because I went to one of them, and it was kind of cool. I think I picked up a couple of cheap cassettes while I was there, but I didn't buy any of the stuff that was new release because it was all like $20 for a cassette. So
yeah.
And I'm just not. I mean, I have cassettes and I collect them, but I prefer vinyl or CDs to cassettes. So, what's up, Brother Lee? Noise Spectrum is here.
Right on.
So what's spinning? I know we're yammering on about Record Store Day. So, well, before we do that, though, let's get into
the pick.
All right. This is your thanks to Stalka Blah for sponsoring the station and the pick of the week, and so I have 2 picks of the week, one in rock and one in metal. And the metal one is, well, is it metal or is it just hard rock? But anyway, my rock pick of the week is Kansas, Point of No Return. As I tune up the system in the newly renovated record room, I try to find records that really have a lot of detail and brightness, and this is one of them. And I played this for, in fact, Rodney Holder over at County Line Records. He came by he wanted to see how the new setup looked, and he was amazed. He never even heard this record. He'd heard of Dust in the Wind, and he'd heard of what is it? Carry On Wayward Son, but he had never actually heard the records. And so anyway, this is probably going to be his early Christmas present. And anyways, in my metal pick of the week, I kind of went nostalgic, and but it's Dokken back for the attack. And I wish I had a regular copy. This is the double disc with some extra tracks on it. But anyway, it sounds phenomenal. It's really good. And I've seen these terrible videos of poor Don Dokken. And speaking of poor, I talked to Hair Metal Rob, and we were talking about Dokken, and he said, does he want him to quit? Yes. But does he think that he should? And he said no, as long as people are paying to see him. I mean, why keep the guy from making a living? And I agree in part and parcel. I just did a Disturbing the Priest episode with when should they quit? When should bands just stop doing what they're doing? And it got heated a little bit, but Dokken was on that list. I mean, I just feel like he's kind of wrecking his legacy in my view, but this record is phenomenal. So he's got skins on the wall, and I give him major credit. And Under Lock and Key is equally as good, I think. Tooth and Nail, I mean, all those records are great. So couldn't recommend it enough. Back for the Attack, Dokken, and Point of No Return by Kansas. And those are my Stall Cup Law picks of the week.
Well,
there we go. That went pretty well. That was very professional.
That was better than last week.
Right on. Well, let's get into the topic then. We are just discussing stuff we've been listening to recently.
Well, before we start, shout out to Harrison, Lance, and Steve. You can see that I got a little gift in the mail, that Concho banner in the backpack. Really cool drawing that I got to do for them, and based on a real live person. And now I've become somewhat of a sensation over in Japan. So they sent me that. They sent me this killer shirt. They sent me a sticker pack with pics and pins and all sorts of fun stuff. So thanks to those guys. And don't forget that next week they are on the show live and in color. So you can ask them questions and get all the scuttlebutt on their new EP. And it's a rager. If you like Hyrax, you're going to like Harrison.
We're calling it an EP, but it's actually 8 songs. So it's technically a full length, same as the Hyrax, but it's short, just like the Hyrax.
Well, the song Concho, which is one of my favorite, and I mean, it is a ripper, is like 1 minute and 13 seconds. So I guess if you have 8 of those and the whole thing's less than 15 minutes, I guess that's an extended play, but whatever. It's just killer music. So can't wait to get it in my hands.
Yep. So if anybody doesn't know Harrison, we're the guitar player, the bass player, and the drummer who were all in Hyrax for nearly 2 decades, and recorded most of their recent albums except for the new one. So anyhow, let's get into it. So what's been spinning, guys?
Well, I'll start if you want.
Go ahead.
In fact, I've
we'll go counterclockwise. We'll go John, we'll go Kev, and then we'll go me last.
I've sort of been on this wild goose chase with 70s rock and so forth. And so I found a really super clean copy. And once again, I'm trying to find records that have detail, but the Doobie Brothers, which were then Vices, are now Habits. This is, got Old Black Water, Eyes of Silver. Anyway, song to get you through. Just a killer, well-crafted record. Here's another one of my favorite. It's kind of a sleeper too, man. The Who's Next. I don't think there's a better Who record than this, and so I've been spinning that one, and this will be a couple for Kevin. I don't know if you've heard of Gomorrah.
Yep.
Yeah. This is their first album, and I turned to see whose voice it was, and this is just phenomenal 70s psych rock. Have you ever heard of the band Gila from Mexico?
I don't think I've heard that one. No.
Okay, you need to find them. This is a Free Electric Rock session. This is live in Cologne in 1972. And it's really astounding. It's kind of a psychedelically jazz. It borders that jazz fusion, but it's more on the rock side. But Gila has 3 or 4 albums out. One of the guys split off and went to form Unagava, Ungava. You might check that out too. And so. Here's one for the masses that I'm sure that nobody's ever heard of. Do you know who Jeff Berlin is? Great bass player.
I've heard the name.
He calls this the Vox Humana. You know, his Jeff Berlin and Vox Humana. It's on Passport Records, which is an automatic giveaway that it's a jazz oriented album. But anyway, it's got Neil Schon, Steve Smith, the drummer for Verjourney, T. Lavitz on keys, and Ronnie Montrose playing guitar and doing the production work, and then this guy named Neil P-E-R-T. They misspelled his name.
Pert.
Yeah, Neil Peart, like the shampoo. But the record is really cool. He's got different players. Jeff Berlin is a great bass player and is kind of a session guy. But yeah, this is really, and this is obviously a promo. It's a cutout, you can see by the notch out there. This is not for everybody, but it's really a cool record, and plus it's Neil Peart on there. So anyway, gotta love it. So that's part of what I've been spinning lately, and I got tons more.
Cool. What you got?
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna get one into the 70s too. I've been listening to this Devil's Kitchen album from '69.
Oh yeah,
blues rock, hard rock, basically. Just a 4-piece. They're on the LSD label. This is actually a reissue, so it's not an original, but late '60s hard rock, late '60s blues rock. I don't even know how you would describe them, except that. I mean, they're just basically what they are. They didn't really last much. I think they only did that album, if I'm not mistaken. And then I went with this Christopher from 1970, which is kind of a West Coast fuzz-wah band, 3-piece. I think Cream, Airplane mixed together there.
Kind of like they're like a West Coast version of Truth and Janie, a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. I almost pulled some of that this weekend, but I pulled that instead. But then I'm kind of getting into some UFO. This
nice. That's a great album.
This is the reissue from 2021. Sounds fantastic. It has the live album from what was it? I think California, Long Beach. It was live in Long Beach same year. So, but yeah, this one, it really sounds good. It sounds way better than the original, but I still love the original sound of the original. And one more here. My favorite Aerosmith, Rocks.
My favorite Aerosmith too.
It's been a weird mix that I've been listening to, but hard rock, metal, it's just, but yeah, I really love this album. All killer.
1976. That was a pretty dang heavy album for 76.
Yep.
Okay, right. So before I pick some up and tell you guys, there's a few. Oh, we lost John. We got some comments I wanted to discuss. So the criteria for an EP is between 3 to 6 songs and a total runtime of 30. Both, not one or the other. Well, I think that's probably true, but then again, Van Halen Diver Down, what's that one, like 28 minutes?
That, I think in the old days it probably wouldn't, be that, but nowadays the EPs I think are shorter. Most of them.
How long was Slayer's third album?
I don't even remember.
That was
I don't know.
That album is about 30 minutes or under 2. So I guess it just depends. But in any case, Fraser said, "Damn, I never heard of these bands." Well, we're going to show some that are not so obscure as well. Matter of fact, most of mine are obscure because I'm just showing stuff that I listened to over the last few days. So, but anyhow, and then Mark Chaos said he was spinning some Ultimatum last night. Right on. Thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, we are definitely metal. That's what we tried to always be. We never cared about. People called us thrash. People called us all kinds of stuff, groove metal, but we were never groove metal, and we were never really thrash. We were just a heavy metal band with a lot of thrash influences. Definitely weren't groove oriented. We were never like a Pantera wannabe by any stretch of the imagination. So, all right. So let's see what I have here. I got a few CDs. I'm going to show those first, and I'll just show them all and get it over with. Hey, you're back.
Well, that was a wild ride. Good grief.
You just disappeared all of a sudden.
We could pontificate for days about this Microsoft upgrade to Microsoft 11 or whatever. But ever since, they're basically asking you to buy a new computer. I'm not going to do that. And so I've tried I had to go to my backup server, screw Microsoft, pardon my expression. Anyway.
No worries. Anyhow, Mr. Pickle said, Scott, when are you considering thrash metal A through Z? I had a discussion with these guys, and I was thinking maybe we would do a thrash metal A through Z and start doing them on this show rather than me doing them by myself. You probably get more. We'll probably get more stuff, So, but what thrash metal A through Z is? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish up.
I was just saying thrash metal A through Z is we'll just say. I think I did A through. I can't even remember what now. I did like the first 10 or so, but we could start over again and we just pick bands that start with A, and we just show bands that start with A. And
I've been doing that with my CDs, but I've been posting all of that on my Metal Uprising site. I know a lot of people that follow it I get a lot of comments from it. So yeah, that's a really cool topic too.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd have to dig into the CD stash because the vinyl is far less. And some of these guys some of the newer bands don't put out vinyl. They were putting out CDs, but yeah.
Yep. I told you a long time ago, you sound like Steve Zoll. So yeah, I got that. I got Udo. I got Bon Scott. I got Dave Mustaine. So yeah, everybody told me all different.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Oh man, you sound like you playing drums and you sound like Neil Peart. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I never cared. it was just never consistent. It was never you sound like this guy. I got so many different ones, but it was always kind of the guys with the raspy voice, like Dave Mustaine or Udo.
Are you reacting to Mark Chaos's?
No, Fraser Dawson.
Okay, well, Mark Chaos Massacre from Melbourne said, and who's a true metalhead, by the way. It through and through. In fact, he's making his own guitars now. But he says, I was spinning some Ultimatum last night on YouTube. Vicious stuff, man. True metal. So there you go.
Thanks. All right. Well, here's here's just a few CDs. And these are the only CDs I'm going to show. Everything else is going to be on vinyl. But I'm still waiting for my vinyl to come in the mail on this. So I've been spinning this CD quite a bit. But this is the brand new Worldview. Invincible. Absolutely fantastic, melodic, heavy metal, kind of in the vein of, I don't know, early Queensryche, Fates Warning, but a much more modern production, obviously, than those 80s bands. But Ray Parra from Sacred Warrior sings on this thing, and I love that guy's voice. He's one of my favorite singers. So, and then George Ochoa from Deliverance and Recon and some of those other bands. He's the guitar player.
Wasn't he in Evil Dead too?
What's that?
George Ochoa, wasn't he in Evil Dead?
No, he wasn't.
No, that's Juan Garcia. Never mind.
George was in. He also toured with Vengeance Rising for their Released Upon the Earth tour, and he was in a lot of different bands. But
Gotcha.
yeah, there we go. Dolphin Dale. Worldview is awesome. Yes, yes, they are. Anyhow, here's another one. Gorguts.
That's a heinous
Considered
record,
Dead.
man. That thing is so good.
Yeah, I just hadn't played it in a while, and it was sitting over here in a pile of stuff to listen to, and I'm like, I should listen to that. But I was in a kind of a death metal mood, so I listened to that, and I listened to your favorite band, 6 Feet Under. So I like them. I don't care what anybody says.
No, I don't hate them. I mean, Warpath, I think, is a great record. I just, it just becomes pretty average after that. But, change my mind. I mean, that's why we're talking about it. I take notes and then I go back and I go, Scott was right. They rule. Or I say, gosh, I don't know what Scott's got in his ears, but he wasn't right. But I don't know, man. That's the whole thing. There's so much music out there that's great, and
Yep.
I'm not a fan of 6 Feet Under, but I'm not an enemy of 6 Feet Under.
And I finally got the Damaged Faith in the mail. This is such a unique album. It's kind of thrash with a bit of groove and some classic metal, clean vocals. I love this album. This is a band from the late 80s, early 90s from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Rob turned me on to them. Hair Metal Rob. Yeah. And I liked them so much. I was like, man, this has never been released on CD or anything before. It was only ever released on cassette demos. So we ended up releasing this thing and putting out the 19-song CD. I've been playing it over and over again. Really interesting. Nobody really sounds like them. There is a bit of a Pantera influence, which isn't surprising for a late 80s, early 90s Dallas, Texas band. But other than that, I just think they sound like nobody else. And then finally, last CD I'll show is the Volume 5 No Light to Metal Records. And I know it's a self-serving and it's my label, but I've had this thing in my car constantly. But it's got a song on there from Harrison that's actually got Metal Al Diablo on it, as well as a new song from Patriarchs in Black and a new song from Chris Manning that haven't been. They're all like unreleased tracks that are coming out next year. Iron Jaw, Creeper, Hellbender, Primal, Anger is Art, Absalon, Severed Angel, Damaged Faith, Hades, Soul Sign, Vindicator, Reign of Glory, Fear Not, Harrison, Patriarchs in Black, and Chris Manning.
What's wrong with that? Nothing.
Oh,
yeah,
rocks.
Do.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
No worries.
Am I up?
You bet.
Well, here's a record store day thing. Massive Aggressive. I had a copy of this, and then I looked through my stash. I didn't have a copy of it, so for working security at the door, keep all those crazy people buying the Wicked soundtrack in line. Yeah, it was worth it. And it's on this swirly toxic green and purple merge vinyl. Here's a band no one's ever heard of. I hadn't even heard of them, called Plague Diagram. It's a grindcore band. Very cool packaging.
We got to hold for a second because we got Shannon Fry from the mighty Avenger Blood checking in. Of course. So we must always mention Avenger Blood every time he comes on.
Of course. And why wouldn't you? That's a ripping band. Yes, I agree. The Sanguisuga Bog is excellent. Okay, speaking of I've sort of been into weirdo metal, not just your standard stuff. And you know that I love some quirky stuff. And this is Bio Noise Generator from Russia. And it's jazz grindcore. And I'm not kidding you. They break down with saxophones and little syncopated, weird downbeat ostinato rhythms and then brutal grindcore. It's so phenomenal. It's got 2 albums on it. It's got Neuromechanica on one side and Subnormal Dives on the other. It took 9 months for this record to come from India, and I'm so glad it got here. The guys at Transcending Obscurity record label are very, very cool. Speaking of which, they sent me this too, because I had to wait so long. They said, pick out another record. And I said, I've heard this Floating before. It's like Swedish. It's like death metal, but shoegaze style. There's gruff vocals. It's attuned to, it's akin to Tomb Mold a little bit, the new Tomb Mold. But Floating from Sweden is excellent. And then I have been, speaking of Tomb Mold, I've been listening to The Enduring Spirit, which is their latest, and this thing is just absolutely phenomenal from a couple years ago. And speaking of absolutely phenomenal, man, buy every Mortuous record that you can, because this is top-notch, pure Swedish sounding death metal with better production. It is so good. And speaking of death metal and my favorite bands, this was the 7th anniversary of this weird. It's like one side of the record is silk screened and the other side is music, and it's Blood Incantations tour vinyl called Vitrification of Blood. You can see the little alien baby thing in there holding the pyramid and the everlasting eye, and then it's got all the tour dates on it. This was the first time I ever saw them, but such a cool little piece, and I think it's limited to a couple of hundred. They released it back in 2016 and then re-released it in 2019 with the special packaging. So once again, everything from 70s psych rock to jazz grindcore.
Hey, I forgot to mention earlier too, if anybody's interested, if you like bands like Hades and Accuser and Jacob's Dream and trying to think of some of the others, there's so many of them over there. Boone's Overstock is having an after Black Friday sale. It's called the Cyber Week Blowout Sale. They've got vinyl for between $5 and $12.
Okay.
All kinds of killer stuff. Accuser vinyl for $5.
Picked up some of that Modest Accusation.
Modest Attraction.
Yeah, Modest Attraction.
So, yeah, great band from Sweden. Yeah, they've got just tons of stuff over there. He's just doing a blowout sale, trying to clean up the warehouse a little bit. So if you're into CDs too, he's got CDs for $5. So if anybody's interested, boonsoverstock.com, they're having their sale now, not on this past week. They're having it this week, and so you can go over there now and get stuff like that.
And man, do they ever have some stuff? I wish I had a taller budget than I do, but
I think I saw Jag Panzer. There was so much stuff over there for sale. Yeah. All right. Anyhow, sorry about that. You're up, Kev. Go ahead.
All right. Kind of went back. Listen to some Def Leppard here, First Strike. Last record release.
That's early.
Yeah, this is it was actually recorded. Let's see, what was it?
Was that recorded before On Through the Night?
Yes, this is basically demo stuff before they recorded that.
Yeah,
so some of this stuff actually went on Through the Night. This is you can get the CD of this too, but it doesn't have this cover version. Actually, the quality of this is not bad either. I mean, I picked this up at a record store. No, it wasn't. It was a Fargo record store day. One of these dealers up there was selling this and wanted $80 for it. And I don't see these, and I went on and looked for others online, and they were much more expensive. So one of my most expensive finds, but good album.
Got to do what you got to do. Yep. Someone mentioned Tribal Gaze, the new Tribal Gaze. Yes, the Inveighing Brilliance. It is Inveighing Brilliance. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Then I went back early days with AC/DC Dirty Deeds.
Yeah.
This
Australian cover.
Yep.
This album cannot be sold on Discogs.
Why not? They claim it's a
I actually did more research on this today. It's a green album. It's got a totally different Albert label on there. So therefore, I think this is an official bootleg.
You mean
it has all the numbers and the marking.
Special pressing, yes.
We don't call them bootlegs. We can't use that word because we'll get in trouble. Special pressing.
Special pressings, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, going through the collection with some Torch Reignited from, of course, Torch came out back in the early 80s, 83. And then they kind of went dormant and they resurfaced about, I think, 2017, maybe a little bit earlier. And then this was their last album. If you like Saxon, you'll definitely like Torch. Absolutely very close. And Dark Angel. This thing,
Sounds like thrash, I hear.
very good album. I don't see the hate for this. I don't understand not loving the album. I mean, this thing rips.
It doesn't sound like them in 1989, 1990. That's why. It's
Well,
really literally what it is. Doesn't sound like them. I bet.
Well, it's got to sound different. The production's better these days, and they have a few different players, and they've been on hiatus for 30 years.
I think it's a very good album. I don't see the
My
dislike.
copy's
That's
still not
me, I
arrived
guess,
yet,
so.
but
Those are
hopefully
the
here
same
soon.
people, Scott, that think that the Black Album by Metallica is the greatest Metallica record ever written. It
Well,
just,
that was their
just-
first album, right?
oh yeah, because it's self-titled. Gotcha.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I'm going to show this one. I've listened to it 5 times now, maybe 6. I can't remember. But this is a new Aerosmith and Youngblood comp EP. It is an EP. It's got 5 songs, not 6. The first time I listened to it, I was like, because I everybody knows I'm an Aerosmith fanatic, and but I thought the last album they put out back in 2012 was terrible. I mean, it was just them trying to be. They were just trying for pop hits. It was clear, and it just wasn't a good album because you want Aerosmith to be a rock and roll band. That's what they are, a rock and roll band, right? A heavy, hard rock and roll band, whatever you want to say. Well, on this one, they've got basically 4 new tracks on here. The song "Wild Woman," if radio picks up on it, I can imagine that one becoming a hit for him. It's actually a decent rocking song, and probably my favorite one on here. It's the most immediately likable song because it's got the best hooks on it. 1,000 Days is a ballad. It's okay. The first 2 tracks are the harder rocking songs, My Only Angel and Problems, and they're both decent songs. I think the whole EP and overall is better than anything they did on Music from Another Dimension. That's my opinion. Then the track
wait. Time out. So Youngblood is singing with Aerosmith, or
Youngblood and Steven Tyler sing together.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, because
So yeah, they're sharing vocals, and he's got.
I kind of want to like the kid's music. I mean, at least he's sincere about being a rock and roll star. But because he did the thing with Black Sabbath, and he was very gracious about his. But he's huge, I guess. I don't know that much about him, but
Yeah.
I don't either.
I've never heard of it.
I hadn't heard of him either until the Aerosmith got together with him, and good on him for
Don't they have different colors of that cover?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 different versions. This is the Amazon version. The other versions you have to buy direct from the band or direct from the label. Youngblood has copies that are autographed with a different cover. Aerosmith has copies that are. I pre-ordered mine from Amazon. That's this one here. So I wouldn't mind finding some of the other ones, but I'm just because, like I said, I'm an Aerosmith fanatic. But so the question is it worse than Honkin' on Bobo? I like Honkin' on Bobo. It's a blues album. It's not an Aerosmith record. It's all blues covers. So I don't know. People seem to not like that album, but it's just blues covers, and I kind of dig it. But it's definitely better than Music from Another Dimension, which is way worse than Honkin' on Bobo. They bring on female country pop singers as guests on that album. That should give you a clue.
Yeah.
So it's just not great. All right, anyhow, I'll show a couple more real quick and then we can move on. I was listening to this one today, and just good old school 70s influenced.
Is that Rise Above Records or Ripple? What is that?
This is Rise Above Records.
Yeah. I was gonna say their first album, Blue Sky Mine, that's a hard one to find.
This is actually the only one I have. I probably need to find more. Actually, I think I have some singles too on 7-inch single. But in any case, I was listening to this one, and of course, as soon as I finished listening to this one, that just got me in the mood to hear some of this.
Yeah.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
So I pulled this one out and gave this one a spin just today. Actually, right before, it was the last thing I listened to before the show. Sometimes this is my favorite Black Sabbath album. Ask me tomorrow, I may say something different. But
I remember the controversy when that band first kind of surfaced that, they sound too much like Black Sabbath.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The music is good.
So let me ask something about Black Sabbath, especially because you bring up Master Reality. you know, I see all those. I know sometimes we exchange text messages, and you send
The
screenshots of the criticism you get from
original
people that
poster.
I don't think know what they're talking about. But someone said that Black Sabbath was not a heavy metal band, and they were just a blues-based rock band. But so
Yeah.
tell me, describe to me then. I would ask that person, what in the heck is heavy metal in the 60s and 70s? Because bear in mind, yes, they were blues based, but I think heavy metal in general is blues based. At least the tuning and the pentameter and all that stuff. If you get down to a Rick Beato level of it all, but I think that Master of Reality might be the heaviest of the first seven. Obviously, they got very melodic with Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and what have you. But I think that without question, Master of Reality is the heaviest.
You could even, if you listen to the first side of that Iron Claw album, I think from '69,
Yeah,
that definitely has heavy metal vibes all through it. I mean, just like Sabbath at that time too.
Mhm.
You know, there's maybe a handful of bands back in them days that, you know, doing the experimenting, but not very many. But yeah,
But does it really matter? Because I think without Elvis, there's not the blue acceptance of the blues in the white population, and without the blues, there wasn't a Black Sabbath, and without Black Sabbath, there's not heavy metal. So call it the seven whatever of Kevin Bacon, but who cares? That's a great record. They're all great records. The first few Black Sabbaths, and you know, we could argue till the cows come home about which is the best.
Mm-hmm. So
And
Warhammer,
we're not going to, because we're not going to.
Warhammer asked if I have a label. Sort of. I work for several labels as doing graphics and project management and stuff like that. But then there's No Life to Metal Records, which is obviously my moniker, and I am like a partner in that label. In that I help pick bands, I do a lot of work for the label. I put stuff into distribution, stuff like that. But I'm not the money guy, so it's not really my label, even though I'm a partner in the label. So no, I don't own a label, but yes, I do have a label that I work with that I can bring bands onto. Matter of fact, that's how Harrison on his Carcass's shirt right there got signed, and Patriarchs in Black and several others that we have on the label.
Creeper and
Creeper. Yep.
I mean, you know, sometimes sweat equity is more valuable than money itself. I mean, you can have a pile of money, and if you don't know how to direct it into the right, you know, into the right places, then what does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't. But anyhow, since you mentioned them, this has also been vinyl and CD. I've been playing both. This will definitely be in my top 10 of the year. I love this record.
It really sounds good on vinyl. I was surprised, and those guys are just shocked. They think that they've hit the pinnacle, and I said, we're just getting started, because you know, they're going to go out on a short tour at the end of January, and they've already gotten 6 or 7 new songs. And so they're ready to record. What people don't understand about that band is they've been together for 20 years. They've had the same lineup for the last 8 or 9, and they are seasoned veterans. They have played a lot of music, and they are tight. They went into the studio with one of the best, Kerry Crafton, and they knocked it out of the park. Sterling Winfield did all the drum sounds. I mean, you can't argue with that type of production, and they're just, man, they're just
amazing.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Really
and I like things, you know, I can overlook maybe I don't even want to say the cheese factor, because that I'm not trying to criticize them, but I'm saying, you know, it's not Mortuous or it's not Blood Incantation, but I have to give them credit. The songs are well written and it sounds great. Yep. So, I mean, that's good enough for me.
Well, I'll tell you a quick story before we move on, but I got a call today from the guys from Harrison. Well, because they were supposed to be on the show today, and they asked if they could move it to next week, which was fine with me. I didn't care. But in any case, they were saying they got this compilation in the mail, the one I just showed, this one here. And they're on it, so they obviously wanted a copy, and they were listening to it, and they said, they were like, damn, that Creeper is amazing, man. The production on that, and the sounds, and the riffs, it's incredible. So I was like, yeah, that was the song they picked out of the 18 tracks on here that they said something about. They didn't say anything about any of the other tracks. They only said something about that one. Although I mentioned Ironjaw, I'm like, yeah, I love them in Ironjaw, but they didn't even remember which one Ironjaw was. So, not that that's not nothing negative against Ironjaw. It's just that Creeper was one that stuck out in his mind. So,
Sure.
in any case, yeah, that Creeper LP is fantastic. Nordic Fire, no doubt. Let's move on. Who's next?
I guess.
Oh, by the way, we are getting some comments about so Jimi Hendrix is definitely a big part of early metal. Yep, I'd say that.
Well, we're getting
money. There's money in music. Yeah, there's lots of money in music. You spend it.
Yeah,
you spend lots of money on
you
music.
buy lots of drumsticks, guitar.
No, I'm talking about labels and making money.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The labels I work for, obviously they have to make money to stay in business, but they are definitely not getting rich off of selling records. I can tell you that right now, nor am I. So anyhow, Volume 4 is the best Sabbath. The heaviest too, maybe.
Okay.
I
think there's a real transition point right there. But anyway, okay, back to my weird eclectic music taste. This is Sons of Faust, local DFW band. They do everything from kind of like trippy ambient to shoegaze type stuff. This is a Spanish-speaking fellow. He does all the instrumentation and has a few players helping him out. Canadian band called Cut Copy. If you like, I don't know, like early Duran Duran, Fix, that type of thing, they kind of emulate that. And then speaking of that early Duran Duran and Fix, the Police, Synchronicity. This is a great sounding record. I don't know if you know the story, but if you pull the record out, and you probably couldn't see it here, but if you pull the record out, it was printed by an audiophile company in Japan. And if you hold it up to the light, it's purple. And that's how you know you didn't get a bootleg pressing or a special pressing for that matter. And then some of them later started to come out and they were like a root beer color. But when you pull them out of the package, they look black. It's very weird. This has been a pick of the week. Robin Trower live. If you don't have this, you really
great
need
album.
Everybody needs this in their collection. This thing is so fantastic and so well produced. Here's a couple of record store day things that are kind of weird and unusual, but I have a huge Asian action movie collection, and it includes the terrible kung fu movies, the Shaw Brothers, etc. But that's okay. But they have a unique style and whatever. But I found the soundtrack for Tokyo Gore Police. If you ever want to just have your mind blown like a cartoon type violence and blood and gore, Tokyo Gore Police and the soundtrack is phenomenal. Here's something I found really, really interesting. Speaking of Black Sabbath. Jazz Sabbath Live.
Wow.
Has anybody heard this?
Nope.
Okay. Well, you need to check it out on YouTube. They play Black Sabbath, The Wizard, War Pigs, Hole in the Sky, Paranoid, Into the Void, Rat Salad, Children of the Grave, Behind the Wall of Sleep, Iron Man, and Fairies Wear Boots. And it's a 3-piece stand-up bass, piano, and a drum kit. And it really is cool. So you can still find these out there. I think that there's a couple stores here in town that still have it, but it's double transparent, like a tangerine orange clear vinyl, and it sounds really great. Once again, I'm trying to find things that sound good on the new system, and that thing is unbelievable. Here's another thing that really is unbelievable. I'm a huge Clash fan. I love the Clash. I've loved them since they came out. This is Combat Rock, which is probably their most famous, and then it's a 3-record set, and it's got some live and unreleased tracks, and it's got all sorts of cool stuff on it, plus a book and the poster and an obi, and it just happened to be in the cutout bin or the used bin, so I grabbed it, and I've got an original copy with my old original copy with a poster, and I have it on Japanese audiophile clear vinyl. And then once again, I'm trying to figure out how to make
nice. I love that album.
How to tune in that one there.
Jean-Michel Jarre. There's actually an Oxygen let's see, this is 1 through 6, and then there's one that's 6 through 13, and then there's another one that's just called Oxygen and Beyond. And so I've got the first two. I haven't found the Oxygen and Beyond, but once again, you know, it's not all death metal and thrash for me, and I love death metal and thrash, don't get me wrong. And I, you know, when I do the Crypt, it's all heavy stuff, but stuff like Bio Noise Generator or Floating or those types of things, they fit right in with Creeper and War Master and Bolt Thrower and Morbid Angel. And so anyway, you know, it all depends on what you want. And so, but I can't recommend any of the stuff I've been listening to. I'm listening to it just because either I haven't listened to it in a long time or it's something very, very new. So anyway, oh yeah, don't forget there are 40 different variants, maybe 100. I think I have about 30 of the different variants. Either the colors, the pictures are in a different order. And on that, if you look at the like the record, the RCA or the Columbia House pressings, the vinyl is always black, and the instead of red, yellow, and blue, it's pinkish red, yellow, and blue. You can tell that and I've got a couple of those copies too, but I've got the root beer color. I have the purple, the original audiophile Japanese purple. But yeah, every time I go to the store, it's kind of like the Grand Funk. We're an American band. I'm always checking for yellow vinyl and to see if there's any flaws in those. And I showed those to a friend of mine, and he was just blown away. He's like, "How many of those things do you have?" And we counted them. I have like 27 of them, but not including the black and the pure gold. So anyway, just another
Everybody's
fun
saying
thing.
we're getting people saying there's some people saying 45, some 35, 36, 45. I couldn't tell you. So, but we need to keep going because we're running out of time. So,
Okay,
All right.
well, I'm done.
I got a few to go real quick.
oh, well, you do have a
Here.
question too. When we get around to you again, there's a question up here for you. So we'll get to the question.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kev.
But getting into some more thrash this weekend, some Exodus, Pleasures of the Flesh.
Oh yeah.
This is actually a reissue. This came out, I think it was 2015 maybe. But yeah, fantastic album. It has the Combat on here, but it's put out by Metal Blade, but great album.
Well, I think Metal Blade bought part of that catalog from Sony, because
Yeah,
remember, Sony CBS bought the whole label and then fired everybody but Cyclone Temple. No offense to them.
Then I had to get out some Havoc, which
Yeah.
is up, one of my favorites. This is the band signed this at a show here up in Fargo, and I did an interview with them for my radio show many years back. And this is one of them. I brought most of my stuff. They signed it, but yeah, one of my favorites, purple vinyl on the Restricted Records label. And then my favorite album of the three from Corrosive, Toxic Apocalypse. Just, I mean, fast, furious, thrash, speed metal, whatever you would call it. But killer stuff out of Canada. And I showed this on my one of my videos I did here a couple days ago, and I forgot to name the band. The band is called Children. They're out of New York. This is kind of a progressive thrash album. They only did one album. They were around for maybe 3 years, and a very good album. But I'm trying to see what the label is. Komodo label. I'm not sure if it's maybe native New York, but if you like, I don't know, maybe a little Watchtower, Species, Children, you'll like. And I went back to some early Iced Earth with Night of the Storm Rider.
Yeah, great album.
And
John
I haven't
Greeley
heard
on
this in a while. It's not my favorite one, but I mean, with tracks like Storm Rider, The Path I Choose, just great tracks.
That is my favorite. I love that album.
Yeah, that's a great
I
album.
thought John Greeley fit the band really well too, the vocalist.
Yeah.
He only sang on that one album. Although he has a new, last year he put a new album out. John
Yeah.
Greeley did under his, I can't remember the name of the band on top of my head.
Something about trees. That's all I remember. Something about trees.
It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
And it's not
Yep,
the band.
that's it.
It's not the band If the Trees Could Talk, which is a fantastic band also, by the way, just as a side note.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up because it's gonna make me nuts that I can't remember this.
I do like the original cover too, George.
Seventh Servant, and the name of the album is Tree of Life. So you were right.
Yeah.
There's trees in it.
There you go.
Yeah, and it came out
Landscapers.
actually it's longer ago than I thought, 2022. But it's still a good album. I mean, I really liked it. It's very much in the Iced Earth vein. Doesn't
Sure.
sound exactly like Iced Earth because it doesn't have John Schaefer on guitar, but it's still a really good album. That's actually one. And Ed just said Something Wicked is his favorite. That's would rank in my top 5 too.
Yep. Really a good one.
Yeah, most of the early Iced Earth albums have multiple covers. I mean, even originally when they were released, I've got the first album with 2 different covers for 2 different CDs. One was the US, one was Europe. So
Well, wasn't McFarlane as the infamous comic book artist doing like Something Wicked has a McFarlane cover, and then
yes,
Days of Purgatory.
So does Day of Purgatory does. There's one other one too. I can't remember what it's called.
Horror.
Of course, I can't remember.
Horror show.
Looking
Dark
it up.
Saga. Thank you.
That's it. Dark Saga.
Thank you, Nordic Fire 74.
Yep. Right on. All right, cool. Let me get through some of these things because we're running out of time. I got several here. So I just got this one in the mail. I've been looking for it for a while for an original pressing of the Dead Engine album.
Dead Engine.
This is called Hold a Grudge. From I think this is like 84, 85, somewhere in that area, maybe even later than that. Maybe even 86. I can't tell. Anyhow, doesn't matter. It's mid 80s, so kind of straightforward metal, but it's got a lot of like Metallica style riffing in it. Definitely influenced by that whole new wave of British heavy metal. I don't remember where these guys are from, but great picture of the band in the back. But since I was listening to that one, I went ahead and pulled out.
We got a few albums out. That's the one
the first album. And I pulled this one out and then gave it a listen after I listened to that one. I think this one is a little heavier. The second album is a little heavier than the first one, which is unusual. Usually bands go the other way, but these guys didn't. I also have a 7-inch single by them that I played, but I didn't grab it to show. This is one that Kev turned me on to.
Oh yeah.
He was posting pictures of it. This is the tribute to Metallica, tribute to Kill 'Em All, called No Life to Leather, and it's got
cover.
Hit the Lights by Tailgunner, The Four Horsemen by The Almighty, Motor Breath by Soen, Jump in the Fire by Tigers of Pantang, Anesthesia Pulling Teeth by David Ellefson, Whiplash from Motorhead, Phantom Lord by Saxon, No Remorse by Diamond Head, Seek and Destroy by Testament, and it ends with Metal Militia from Raven.
Wow.
And that track, Raven, that is a killer track.
So is the Testament. Actually, most of it's pretty good. The only one I thought the Motor Breath was just a little bit, it was decent. It just wasn't quite as heavy as some of the other tracks. That's all. Anyhow. And then a couple of rock albums. This is the new Cheap Trick that I've only got to listen to twice, and I'm digging it. I think it's actually better than the last couple. It's got more.
I agree with you on that one. I've listened to it.
Is Bunny Carlos not in the band anymore?
Bunny Carlos is still a member of Cheap Trick, but he does not tour with them. He does not record with them. He just gets paid.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I just know that he split with the band.
He still tours though. Bunny Carlos. He has his own band. I just can't think of it right offhand.
It's Rick Nielsen's Rick Nielsen's son
is the drummer. Yeah,
is the drummer, and he's been the drummer for like the last 10 years.
Huh.
So, but anyhow, the thing I liked about this one is it's got a lot of. I mean, Cheap Trick is a hard rock band, but they're also a pop band. I mean, they've always been that kind of power pop band. And those first 4 or 5 Cheap Trick albums, I mean, they're just so hooky. And I think they caught that on this one too, with a lot of big hooks. So, and this one you can get in like so many varieties, it's ridiculous. Like the new Megadeth album, it's got like 30 different colors of vinyl. I bought one.
I bought one too off Amazon.
And then my last one, I don't know if anybody's going to know who this is, but this is Rick Kua. This is his first solo album from '82. Rick Kua was the bass player for the Outlaws for 3-4 years, starting at about 79 through 82, 83. Played on all the albums in that time period, and then he went solo. And yeah, I just haven't heard this one in a while, so I was digging through records, like, oh, I haven't heard that. It's a good, solid hard rock record. He's now a pastor, so at a church. But excuse me, one of the bass players in Ultimatum had one of these funky basses with the metal, big metal headstock on it. I can't remember what the brand is. I'm sure someone of you guys knows, but man, that thing was weird because
Not a Washburn or a.
I think it might have been a Washburn, but he had a bass like that, and I put it on a couple times, and put the strap on, hold it. It's you gotta hold the top. If you let it go, it just goes because that metal head is so heavy. So
Crazy,
just kind of weird. But anyhow, I love the name of the album. Rick Kua.
Keep it up.
Kua.
The name of that Kua. Exactly. That's exactly how I say it. It's like, what a cool name, man. Rick Kua. And then here's the last two. And the reason I've been playing these, I'll tell you in a second, but Nasty Savage Indulgence and the Abstract Reality EP, and also played the first album. And one of the labels that I work for is remastering and re-releasing those on vinyl and CD. The nice part about it is this one's going to be a double album, and it's going to have the Abstract Reality on the second album, so it's going to have both albums on a gatefold sleeve, which is kind of nice. And our buddy Rob Caldwell is doing the mastering from the original master tapes. Sweet. Which is awesome.
Just saw them at Hill's Heroes.
Yeah. So
and I mean, like I said, he doesn't break a TV over his head or drip wax on his chest anymore, but they still had it.
I couldn't keep up with while I was showing stuff, so we got a lot of comments. So
there's a new Warrant record from Germany. That's a ripping rap band.
Yep. Yes, I did see there was a new one. I haven't bought it yet, though.
I think that just came out.
Nasty Cabbage. That's the new name of the band. I changed their name from Nasty Savage to Nasty Cabbage.
That's right.
Instead of breaking TVs over his head, he just has really stinky farts.
He's just slicing up a head of letter and throwing it at the audience, a la Blackie back in the Wasp days when he was throwing meat at the whatever. Let's see. Is there a question about the police synchronicity?
That's a long one. I got something here. I just figured out how to do this. Let's see if it works. Ready? Turn it up.
Have a real good time. Get the drama, leave all the bullshit behind. Like a wet dream, say.
That's it.
Okay.
That's one of the songs on the new Harrison record.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say
my exercise for the day.
SOB. That's the name of this. That's the name of that track.
Let's see. How do you feel about the Stone Roses?
There you go. That's your question. Yep.
Oh yeah, I like them.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Wishbone Ash, that's a good band. Someone said they discovered Wishbone Ash and Venom on the same day. Now, see, I'm not that eclectic. If you can pull that off,
both great. I mean, I actually like Wishbone Ash more than Venom. Venom, I thought were great. The first three albums were great. I never really got much into anything after that. And then
I have the first two. So
some of their new stuff is not bad. Don't sleep on it. But I like the Venom Inc. more than I like the Kronos version. And that may sound sacrilegious, but it just sounds better to me. I've seen them both live. So, I mean, but I saw Venom Inc. more recently, of course. Oh, gosh, you're going to torture us all with that. No, I actually listened to that. I have it on a download. I don't have it in any other format. And I hate to say I like it, but there's some of it's kind of likable. And
there's nothing wrong with it. It's not. This is not the regular album from them. This is industrial and remixes, and they took the songs from the album, and then all these different industrial bands and artists remixed them and made them into their own songs.
Yeah,
I like industrial music, so I like this. I don't care what anybody says. I think most people who say this sucks have actually never heard it.
No, I agree.
Or they
with
just
you.
don't like that style of music. One of the two.
Well, and it's it's Morbid Angel, and you're thinking, wow, what on earth happened? They have a new record coming out, and it looks pretty brutal. I haven't heard anything off of it yet, but
Shannon Fry says he likes all the Venom albums. I like all the Avenger Blood albums. Does that count?
that should count. He doesn't even like all the Avenger of Blood albums.
I know he doesn't.
And that's too bad because I like them all. They had me hooked the first one.
I even liked the first demo before he joined the band. I still have that one on CD.
Yeah, well, there you
now
go.
he is Avenger of Blood. I mean, Shannon, he's like the Lemmy of Avenger of Blood. You know what I mean?
Oh gosh, Venom Inc. and then Exhumed, dude. That's a left and a right hook to the head. Anyway,
right on.
All right.
What do we got here, Scott? Did you get the 2 Rocktober Ministry albums? No, I did not. I do have some industrial music, but I don't constantly.
Al Jorgensen went to Steph's high school. The Queen of the Crypt was at the same high school as Al Jorgensen from Ministry, and that's a mixed bag too. I mean, Jesus can build a hot rod. I guess he can do anything. He can build the rest of the world, right?
Right.
So,
right.
Anyway,
on. Cool. By the way, I like your Harrison banner in the background for those who can't see it.
Yep.
Right.
I have an extra one.
Wait for that album to be in my hands. I'm hoping I'll have the at least the test pressing soon. It should be here soon.
I have an extra one. They were kind enough to send me 2. So I don't know if one of our listeners wants to DM me and pay for shipping, I'll send it to them.
I bet the listener right above you would probably want to have it.
You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll just send it to you, Kevin.
Yeah, he'll love
unless
that.
You don't want it. Unless you don't want it.
Oh, okay.
It's like a double dip. You get
he collects banners.
Killer Thrash done by a fairly serviceable artist.
Right on.
Fairly serviceable. Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Look at this.
Oh, we're gonna start banner. Oh, that's a shirt.
Wow. I like shirts like that. That's one of them different. What are they called? What is that?
And all over
material.
They print the shirt first and then they sew it up afterwards.
Yeah.
They print the fabric. Yeah.
I have a Scorpion shirt like that, and I have a Rock-a-Rolla shirt like that.
I have an Iron Maiden shirt like this too. But anyhow, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Check this out too. I don't think I've shown anybody this thing, but
hey, Fraser, Daniel and I have done a collaboration, and in fact, I'm gonna go down to Houston and see him tomorrow.
Canadian Sacrifice.
That band shreds.
It's a double-sided. So the other side's got Cursed Blessings records on it. But I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't even buy it. They just sent it with the record. So it was pretty nice.
I had bought a Sacrifice shirt from a guy who was selling them online probably 15, 20 years, I'd say 20 years ago. And at the time when I got it, I was a little big. So the shirt didn't wear very well on me, but I don't even know how old that is. It must be 20 years old. One of the old covers.
Sacrifice is an underrated Canadian thrash band. I mean,
very underrated. You saw them, right, with Believer?
Yeah. And when you think of Canadian thrash, I mean, obviously Razor is top of the Infernal Majesty, Slaughter, not Mark Slaughter, but the Strapato Slaughter. I have to clarify that. And but people leave out Sacrifice, and I don't know why, because they rip.
And I'll show one more before we go.
Okay.
This album will definitely be my top 5.
Oh yeah.
I just cannot stop listening to this.
I had ordered that. It just got canceled.
What?
Yep. Got canceled. So.
Do they have it on Boone's Overstock?
Not that one.
Not that one, huh?
Nope. They do not. But there is a lot of stuff on
for a decent price, and I got an email yesterday. In fact, they said they canceled it. So
you can literally, if you're vinyl, you just click on there's a button to click on. It says vinyl under $20, and I'm telling you, there's tons. I'm looking at it right now. Accuser, Art of Anarchy, Aloes, All Has Hell Retreats.
Those are early too.
They got Avenger of Blood on there in the under $20 thing. Baron Cross, Battle Cross, Believer. Lots of Believer. Blessed by a Broken Heart, tons, Brainstorm, Brand New Sin, Bride. There's just tons of vinyl in here.
I would love to find a good vinyl copy of Sanity Obscure. That's my favorite. Believer.
Let's see, it's in here. I just saw it.
It is?
Yeah. Sanity Obscure. Let's see, right there. Yep, $19.99 on sale, and then it goes back up to $35.
Well, I need to find $20 then.
Yeah, you definitely want that. That's a good price, and it's the orange vinyl variant. There's 3 variants, I think.
I just want it because I want to play it on,
Yep, on the turntable.
Yeah,
Got it.
killer system.
All right, man. Well, we got to go. We're already 12 minutes over.
Way over, and I got dinner waiting. So
yes, Recon. Love Recon. Great band. Just got a message from Harrison. Yeah, they're going to be on next week. So anyhow, we'll get this going. So next week we have Harrison on. We'll have the brothers from Harrison, whose last name is Harrison. And so we'll have them on next week. We'll be talking all things Hyrax and Harrison and talking about the new album. And they can share more this time because they've been on the show, what was it, about a year ago or so? Before we had even signed them. We were just talking music and talking Hyrax. But this time we can get more into the new album and those kind of things. So we'll have them on next week. So hope everybody can come back. And if you got any questions for the Harrison/Hyrax guys, they'll be here next week. So anyhow, that's it for this edition. If you looking for John, you can find him on Instagram at CarcassJohnArt, or you can also find him on
128 DB Rock in the Crypt and in my alter ego. In fact, tonight at 10 o'clock, I have a new episode, and Kevin, you're going to probably want to listen to this one.
I was just listening to one of your shows here yesterday.
I don't know what number I stopped, but I'll send you a link for the rest of them if you'll just send me an email or a text.
Yeah, well, I'll do that.
Oh, Steve's not here.
Steve works for the government, and that's a dicey proposition.
Yeah, he got stuck at work. So anyhow, sorry about that. Didn't mean to put that one up. But anyhow, you can find Kevin on YouTube at Old Metal Rocker 66.
And over at Metal Uprising on Facebook. Come on over.
Yep. And you can find me on Instagram at No Life to Metal. You can find me on YouTube at No Life to Metal or Scott Waters, either one. I think my channel name in there is actually Scott Waters, but if you do a search on Instagram for No Life to Metal, it also comes up. I checked myself to make sure that was true, and it is. You can find me I'm usually on Facebook all the time. So, yeah, you can find me on Facebook under my name, Scott Waters. So anyhow, that's it. Appreciate everybody who came and watched. We had a lot of people watching and commenting, so I really appreciate all you guys. If you haven't subscribed to the No Life to Metal channel, please do so on YouTube. If you haven't, click the thumbs up button. Those kind of things help because it gets more people to watch. And the more people we get watching, the better the show can get. So that's it.
Yep.
You know how we end it.
We'll have, because Mark Chaos Massacre requested it, maybe we'll have Osric Tentacles talk.
I would love that. I would love to get the guy I would love to get, what's his name, the guitar player whose name is
Ed
slipping my mind. Thank you, Ed Wynn.
His wife plays bass, and she's really an outstanding musician too. I think she's Hungarian. He's British, but anyway, yeah, I can
contact him. Get him on the show. Is there any chance you could contact them?
Oh yeah, I did a T-shirt design for them a few years ago.
Oh, see if we can get them. I would love to have them on the show. That would be so awesome.
Yep.
Out of my way, down on your knees, time for you to sit down and walk away. Don't wanna see up to their face. Feel the pain, don't trash you hard, cause you fail anyway. Running free, running wild, standing tall, better be ready.
Okay.
I knew Harrison's gonna kick ass. I'm telling you.
Before we get in trouble with the FCC, we need to just sign off.
But by the way, the cover artist from that Harrison is
Ed Repka.
Oh man, thank you, Ed Repka. I almost said Ed Wynn because we just said that. Yeah, everything about that album is class. Bill Matoyer did all the mixing and mastering and all that kind of fun, and the recording. I think he did everything on that. The recording. Yep. So
when is that coming out, Scott?
It goes on. You know what? I just got a message. Hang on, give me 5 seconds. I just got a message from Rox Records looking to launch pre-orders on 12/12. So that'll
Oh,
be
wow.
what next?
Wow.
That'll be 10
Okay.
days away. Yep.
Next week.
Shout
So
out
that
to my
one, I
parents.
think
That's
that
their-
one and the Patriarchs in Black will be going on sale at the same time.
That's my parents' anniversary, so that'll be easy to remember. And maybe I should get one for my parents,
There you go. I'm
who've
sure
been
they love
married
it.
67 years in December.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm only a little bit behind him at 36.
Yeah, a little bit. Good luck.
All right. We better get going. Appreciate y'all watching. You know how we
Okay.
end it. For episode number 292 of the Metal Roundtable, Metal
Will
prevail.
prevail.